Hi, welcome to Jackie Burns Creations. It is Just Our Imagination collab. We do it once a month and we have moved it to Mondays. Our hosts are Kathy Jo DIY, Johannes, and Brenda from Rustic and Lace. And these are very talented ladies. Check out the whole playlist. So our challenges were to use different products, and sometimes they're a little crazy, but one of them was toilet paper. And I've got these styrofoam balls that I am putting some watered down Mod Podge type material on, and I'm taking a toilet paper one piece at a time and I'm decoupaging it onto the ball. And it actually was kind of interesting. I ended up using like 4 or 5 layers, and it was kind of like turned into a paper mache. Kind of mushed up and fell apart, but while it was still wet, I rolled it around in some snow and glitter. And after they dried, I'm just sawing a little bit off so they'll stand straight and they'll hook together better. And I'm poking a hole in so I can put like a skewer in there. Could always use toothpicks too. And the glitter stayed on there really pretty good. It wasn't flaking off all over the place. You can see how I'm hooking them together, and I'll take a little hot glue and put it between them. And so I'm cutting some pieces out for the arms. I went back and used some clay and rolled out some clay to make some arms for both my snowmen. Just making a big snowman and a little one. This went pretty easy, except for when I was decorating the faces. I'm not too happy with her face, so I'll end up redoing it again. Okay, project number 2. We must use a pill bottle or pill bottles. So I took the end off of ribbon and cut out some thinner cardboard so I could strengthen it. And I decided, well, I'll make some stands, display stands. One I used a fatter bottle, and one I used 2 smaller bottles glued on top of each other. So I glue the cardboards together. And there's the taller one. And I'm gluing together the fatter one. I'll take and put a little glue around the rim so I can glue the lid on. And now I'm putting glue on so I can hook it all together. I painted it white so I'd have a decent looking underneath. I used cottage core DIY paint. It's nice because it's got a leveler, self-leveling, and a sealer all in one. So I don't have to go back and seal it. So I'm taking part of a mop, and I am decided to wrap the smaller one with the mop strings. You actually notice I've got a finger protector on. I needed it for this. Usually I'm like, I can't be bothered. No, this time I needed it. And the second one, I did a gold cord. I got this gold cord from Temu and I really liked it. It's really nice, and they give you quite a bit on the roll. So I'm just putting one along the edge at the top, and the other one I'm covering it with the mop. It's a big decision trying to figure out what to do with it. I'm just touching up a little spot on the top of the gold one, and then I am going to paint it with gold. And there they are all finished. Now I have these IOD molds, these new IOD molds, and they have these cloches, and I poured one of the cloches with a clear resin, and I painted the bottom and the top with gold. I'll show you that on another video sometime. And so I had this decoupage paper that I got from Jami Ray Vintage. It's one of their designs, and I thought, oh, that'd be so pretty to put this behind the cloche. And so that's what I was measuring it out for. You could put things on the front or on the back, but since it's really clear resin, I decided I would put it on the back. And I'm just giving it a little bit of the liquid patina from DIY, and that will dry very clear. It won't make it cloudy or murky or anything. And then I'm going over the back of the picture. I guess I could have painted the back of the picture white to make it more solid, but I think it came out fine anyway. And so I'm figuring out how to put it up on top of the gold stand. And I cut a little piece of board in 3 pieces and glued them together and stuck it up on top. And I could glue the cloche against it. And I guess I should go back and paint it gold just so it blends in, but since it's the back, you don't see it. So I'm getting that glue on there and popping it into place. And I'm going to put a few bits of greenery on there. Make it an assemblage. That's how the French say it. It's an assemblage, but it's assemblage. I like to say it, it's fun. A few little pit berries. I always love berries when I'm doing a floral. Doesn't matter if they're little ones or big ones. A little more space, and I had these little presents that were in golds and whites, and I thought, oh, those would look pretty there. And there it is, all done. I think it came out really nice. I like this out of all my projects the best. Sometimes you win them, sometimes you don't. And I think this was a win-win. And here is the second one with the little snowman on top. It's more a fun, casual one. Okay, project number 3. We must use a mop head. So I thought, oh, what am I gonna do with that? And so I had this foam wreath in my stash and I painted it white. And that way the mop head you won't be able to notice so much. If there's green behind it, it'd stick out like a sore thumb. And I'm using that DIY paint again, because that paint will stick onto anything, I swear. And the regular clay-based will really stick onto things. Very rarely do you have to prime it. This one probably took the most time with the mop head, wrapping all those pieces. I thought, oh, maybe I'll make a couple of gnomes. And I thought, no, let's do something different. And I'm just cutting that mop head apart. I cut down one whole side. And I've got a lot left over, so I could end up making some gnomes later, just for fun. And I took each piece and just wrapped it around till it ended, and then buttered up a new one against it and glued it and wrapped it. And like I say, it took quite a while to do this, but it came out pretty good. My next big decision was, what am I going to put on there? So I had some more of these resin pieces that I poured. I did a sleigh with Santa Claus in it, and I did this reindeer, and I painted a pearlescent white first, and then I took some of the DIY dark wax and waxed it to make all the details stand out. And they're very, very detailed. It's amazing. You can use clay in the molds or resin. I like using the resin. It sets up fast, and I don't lose any detail on it. So I glued the sleigh and Santa on one side, and I glued the reindeer on the other side. And made them look like they're lifting off. Put them at a kind of a tilt and an angle. I might have to pour another sleigh and do more reindeer for another project. And if you've never done resin, it's really fun. You have part A and part B, and you mix them equal. A, and then you add the B in, and then you stir it. This one I had to stir for quite a while, about a good minute or so. Now there's this one, it's an amazing casting resin, and it's really sets up really fast, and it turns white when it sets up. It somehow the heat creates a heat chemical thing, and it makes it set up very, very fast. Thought I'd put a little greenery on the bottom. Excuse me. But on these, I just decided to do the pearlescent paint and then do the dark wax on them to make all the details stand out. And if you see, they're very, very detailed. The clear resin, you have to let it sit at least for 24 hours, I would say. One I've got says it's good in 8 hours. Yeah, I think I'd still let it sit 24 hours. And then there's a different kinds of resin where you expose it to UV light. And a lot of the people have the little light boxes like you do with your nails. And they set up their resin really fast that way with the UV light. I've not tried that kind. And I hadn't done resin in quite a while. And I forgot how much I liked it. And I did a messy bow with a bunch of different reds and greens and laces. Tie it down in the back. Oh, I added this red garland to it, just to give it some different texture and a little whimsical look to it. Something about that fuzzy tinsel garland that you can't help but like. Now I took a piece of it and I'm running it from the sleigh over to the reindeer. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to hook it to. Gotta hook it to his harness. Not around his neck, because he'd choke. Do you ever make up little stories when you're putting stuff like this together? I do. Santa and his reindeer are taking off to the skies. Now I just made a hanger for it out of another couple of strings of mop. And there it is, all done. I think it came out fun. And giving you a little show of what it looks like up close. Isn't that sleigh fabulous? And there's the scary snow woman. I gotta fix her face. She just is looking weird. But the little guy came out cute. And this is the yarn stand. I think that came out very cute too. And like I say, the Mary in the cloche, and I think she came out just elegant. And I thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed. It doesn't cost anything, and it helps my channel grow. So I will see you again next month. And be watching. I'll put out some more new videos, especially on the IODs. Bye.